Good morning, is it from Zetster's lab? Well, a brand new day. I'm excited about my new project. Well, this is now tip number 3. I made 2 previous videos. The one was where I told you what you need if you want to start painting. Hello, Bella Blot. The other one, number 2, was how to do the background of any painting. And now today's number 3. And that the rule here is always start from the back and move to the front. What I mean by that is, as you see, this is the painting I did yesterday. And we stopped in the video, I only did the background. And then I said, okay, the next thing we need to do is put onto the background what needs to be put on. So I took my time and I put on the picket fence and I put on the little girls. Now, when you look at this painting, what will you see? The background, this area, is at the back. So you do that first, because then it stays in the back, okay? When you look outside and you look at trees and you look at the sky is in the background. So do the sky first. Then what comes next was the trees, So you do the trees next. Then you go forward, 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 and then at the last what we did was the piece in front, because you see that first. So always start with the background, then the next thing, then the next thing, then the girls, and then the background. So today's lesson is, when you've done your background, you put on your next things. So if you look at the picket fence and you look at the girls, which are at the back, furthest from the front, it's the picket fence. So now you do the fence. And what do you do then? Then you put that little girl on. You can see she's in front of the fence. And voila, there we've got our visual depth. If you start from the front to the back, everything is lopsided, and then you need to do it over and whatever to get the depth. But if you start, remember, we've got 2-3 hours to do a painting in my art workshops. So always start at the back and move to the front. So that is lesson number 3. So I decided to put on the picket fence and the little girls. And look what happened. I mean, when I came here this morning, I saw, where is it? The most precious little things. There was these little birds. I'll put a photo in on my Facebook page. They just miraculously got there. I told you to paint and paint is magic. So they just came onto there, and I thought I'm going to enhance them and make them little birds there in the background, 2 little doves kissing. Why not? So this is it. Someone is at the door, our friend helping Herman in the garage, but I'm just going to continue. So what am I going to do today in this lesson? I'm going to put on the flowers and the rest. Now look at this. This is what I need to do. And now you can see all the flowers. But the awesome thing there is also there's flowers behind the picket fence and flowers in front of the picket fence. So what am I going to do? When I create those ones over the picket fence, I'm just going to clean the picket fence. But I'll show you now. So, once again, I've got my water, and I'm going to use this favorite paintbrush of mine. But I'm just going to dry it a little bit, okay? So now I'm going to put, once again, I'm going to put this camera down so that you can see. There they are. Okay, let me see to get them kind of in. So, oh, and now the dogs are fighting. Hello! So I'm just going to wet my canvas a little bit, once again, just here and there. And now when you look at this, you can see the pink flowers. And once again, let's start with them. So I've got my paint. I'm just going to tip it on, whoopsie, my paintbrush. And now where I see they are supposed to be the pink, what I'm going to do is just tip. I'm not going to think. I'm just going to tip where I believe they need to be. But now they're behind the picket fence, remember? So what do I do now? I clean the picket fence. Or later you can go and you can just paint the picket fence again. Remember, these flowers are at the back of the picket fence. So I am now just cleaning the fence. Right now there's pink ones in front of the fence. So once again, now I can go over the fence, kind of up to a little dress. And look how awesome this is looking. Right, so now I'm going to do, and look where there was still more there. So, and when you do go over the white, you have this beautiful light pink. And there are more, those stringy ones. So I'm just playing. So once again there, the back ones are now over the picket fence. So I take my little lappy, my cloth, and I just clean the picket fence. You know, and another thing I always say is while you're busy, I'm just going to take some more of the pink, because these ones are now a little bit watery, not pink enough. But remember, it's layer upon layer. So really, this is just you playing and continuing to play until you think it's done. So I also just take this paintbrush and just here and there just add a little more pink. Oh, I don't want to go over my birds. I'm cleaning my brush. You don't have to. Mostly I don't. So now I want to go over with yellow again. So I take my yellow. And once again, I just tip. Look there, isn't it absolute gorgeous? Can you see there? Oh man. It's just so beautiful because the yellow and the pink now makes an orange. So that's why I say your colors must call one another, as I always say. It's not just one color. And there's some yellow in this, pink as well. You get this yellow flowers, and now I'm going to go there with my yellow. And once again, don't think, just go for it. Enjoy it. And over their dresses a little bit because we need some shading there and in their hair. We're going over, remember, with the another colors over the dresses. So now I see blue, so I'm taking my blue. There's a lot of blue flowers. But you can see it's wet. My canvas is kind of wet, so I'm just enjoying myself. So this is number 2. So remember today's lesson. You just start from the back and you're moving to the front. So you can see there's now a lot of blue in this tree, but now watch this. It's now the blue sky that's going to creep, that you actually see from behind the greens. So now I'm going to take some green again to go over my trees. And what's going to happen when I am now kind of done? Then I'm going to start working on my woman and the fence and everything else. Isn't it beautiful? And now when this is going to dry, this is going to look totally different. So I'm going to wait for it to dry and then I'll continue. Put a little bit of greens here. Once again, remember it's layer upon layer. More greens here for the grass where they're busy plucking flowers. And you cannot go wrong. So now what we're going to do next, we're going to paint the little picket fence again, just there where it's the colors from the back has come over. And then we're going to paint the picket fence and the woman. We're going to go do another layer. That will be our last layer. And there you get the little shadings. So this is it. Layer upon layer. You start from the back, you're moving towards the front, and you keep going until you're satisfied. What I also really would like to do, because I want to just take a little bit of this blue. Once again, I'm just putting my paint brush in there. Oh gosh. And I just want to work on the back a little bit more. Layer upon layer. Now I can put in a little bit of white to just make it a little bit lighter again. Remember, so your second layer, you always have a kind of wet cloth, paintbrush, kind of wet, little bit wet with a little bit of paint on. And then you just work that over what you have, and then you get this water effect. And now always, never forget your white. As I said, the black and the white is so important. It brings out light. So there I'm just going to put a little bit of white on these trees. Especially there where I want the white. In the little flowers here, I'm going to put some white. And that pink, look there. A little bit of white flowers in this pink. And there you have it. Just look how beautiful. There we can just think like a child, just play, And then when this is dry, you come back and you see, okay, what am I going to do next? So, just to recap, lesson number 3, always start from the back. I'm going to try and pick it up. You see the difference? All I did was I just put on my flowers and I just tip, 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 tip. And now the next thing is now you really do the last little bits. You think, oh, I can see these flowers I don't really like, so I'll just work a little bit on them, more on them, and then I'm going to go for their dresses and their hair and the little flowers in that they're holding in their hands. And I'm going to do a little work on the birds. And there you have it. Think like a child. No fear involved here. And then I'm going to go do the dresses. I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to go over the dresses. Perhaps I'll show you, perhaps not. But always remember, go from the back and move forward. What you want to see last, the most in front, you work on latest. Last I will do the dresses because they're standing out, the top of the picket fence standing out, some flowers, and there you have your depth. Have a fantastic day. I must say, this morning I woke up, oh boy, with the sound of my neighbor's generator. So guess what? Once again, no electricity, so we are load shedding. So I had cold coffee because I snoozed a little bit after hubby brought me some coffee. But then a wonderful thing happened. I met a new friend. Someone over the internet saw my paintings, and she lives quite close by. We didn't know each other. And she came to collect the painting she bought. And I mean, I made a new friend. I cannot wait to go and have coffee with her, and she's going to come and bring her sister here and have coffee with me. That's what life's all about. Now, enjoy this day, this moment. Well, friend, love you lots. This is number 3. Start from the back, going towards the front, and think like a child. Just go for it. Always the second layer, or whatever, is you have a paintbrush that's a little bit wet with a little bit of paint on, and then you get your colors more to what you want it to be. Have a fantastic day. Zed from Zedster's Lab, and please like my videos and subscribe and share with your friends. Let's start to create. Life happens now. See you later. Zed from Zedster's